right. All right. Shalom, shalom. All right, let me move that. Yep. Give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Shema Bashar. Delwan to the apostle, brother Elder Great Millstone. Shalom to the whole elect. Shalom. Title with blow you the trumpet. As you see here, it's not going to get to this little lesson. It said they should know that the prophet had been among them. Right? They should know. Right? They should know that the prophet had been among them. So let's get right to this video.
So if they take away cash and make everything digital, and digital currency is central bank digital currency, obviously you have no power whatsoever. If they don't like what you're doing, they just shut you down and you're impoverished. It just happened in Canada last winter, so we know what the consequences are. We know why they want it. So that couldn't happen, right? Well, we may live to see the day that it does happen. And here's the latest sign that it may be happening. The number of banks and ATM machines in this country are in steep decline. Far fewer than there were just a few years ago. And in some countries like Australia, they're going away at high speed. So this is not something that anyone voted on. This is something that they're just doing, whether you like it or not. So you can say we have cash, but if you can't get cash, then do you really have cash? So where's this going? That's the question we want to assess tonight. And we're going to with Catherine Austin Fitz, who has been monitoring this. She founded the Solari Report. She's also the Assistant Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, and we're happy to have her. Catherine, thanks for coming on. So I think if you put this up to a vote nationally, most people would say, no, I may not use cash, but I'd like to have cash, because if there's no cash, then I have no control over my life. But it seems like this could be a way to affect the same outcome without a vote.
So, Tucker, the one of the bedrocks of freedom is freedom to do financial transactions, including privately, or freedom to do where you want to do and wherever you want to do. And unfortunately, as the financial system has become more and more digital, you see more and more not only invasive surveillance, but more and more controls. You referred to Canada, perfect example. And a little bit like bringing up a corral around us, and CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, and vaccine passports or digital IDs are sort of the last shutting of the gate. It's hard for many people to imagine the risks here because we're so used to living with financial transaction freedom, and we don't understand that when this gate closes on us, we literally will be sitting in a system where the central banks believe that our assets belong to them, and they can dictate where we can spend money and what we can spend money on. The important thing to understand is central bank digital currencies are not currencies. It's a financial transaction control grid, and it gives the ability for the central bankers, and they've said this publicly, the ability to not only set the rules centrally, but enforce the rules centrally. If you don't behave, you can have your money turned off.
You know, you keep hearing people on television say cash is for criminals. Why would you need cash if you're not doing something bad? Why are so few financial journalists pointing out that actually if cash goes away, so does any power you might have had over your own life?
Well, I find a lot more journalists are beginning to understand and are beginning to not only write about this and talk about this, but do documentaries. We just had a new documentary done here out of the Netherlands called State of Control, which does a great job of explaining the invasive nature of this control grid. I think it's very hard for people who've grown up and enjoyed Western liberty and human liberty to imagine literally that we're going into a system where literally our homes, our cars, our communities become digital concentration camps. So if you've enjoyed liberty, it's very hard to, perceive this iceberg before you hit it. And that's why it's so important, and I commend you for talking about CBDCs, because we need to not let the propaganda persuade us that, one, this is convenient, or two, that we need this, or three, we need to understand not only the dangers of CBDCs, but the opportunities if we start to reverse financial tyranny. We've seen the financial system engineered using the federal credit to increase inequality and centralize political and economic control, and it's shrinking our wealth and it's shrinking our economy. We have debt growing and central control growing much faster than the GDP. That can be reversed. So the opportunity of rejecting financial tyranny and financial transaction control is so important. And all over the United States, there are great state legislatures working on legislation and passing legislation to protect our right to use cash, increasingly talking about state bullion depositories, state sovereign banks. There are many people doing this, and if you look at what they're doing, when it succeeds, it can really reinvigorate our economy. And so don't forget the opportunity of rejecting this.
Right. I think when people understand it, that's the first step.
So you see, let me go. All right. So let's get right to your scripture. To see the time that we get into the karma, the all right, the chip. Okay. Let's go to Jeremiah. Hold on, let's go with my other one. Let's see. Just want to get right to your scriptures. Right. All right. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 10. Jeremiah 6, verse 10. To who shall I speak and give warning that they may hear? Behold, the ears are uncircumcision, and they cannot hearken. Behold, the word of the Lord unto them, a reproach that have no delight in it. Right? They have no delight in it. It's right. To whom shall I speak to give warning? They may hear. Read again. Jeremiah 6, verse 10. To whom shall I speak and give warning? They may hear. Behold, the ear uncircumcised, and they cannot hearken. Behold, the word of the Lord unto them, a reproach that have no delight in it. Right? They have no delight in it. Move on. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 5. Thus said the Lord, power and evil, and only evil, behold, is coming. Right? Behold, evil, behold, is coming. So Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 5 again. It said, thus said the Lord, behold, power and evil, only evil, behold, is coming. The end is coming. The end is coming. Is watch for thee. Behold, it is coming. Right? Verse 7, the morning is coming unto thee, O thou dwelling in the land. The time is coming, the day of trouble is near, and not the sound against of the mountain. Right? The day of trouble is near. Ezekiel 7, verse 25, it say destruction is coming, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. Right? Destruction is coming, they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. Joel chapter 2, verse 1. Hold on, let me go back. Ezekiel 33. I'm doing it right. Ezekiel, let me see something. Ezekiel 33, verse 1. It said, again, the word of the Lord came to me and say, hold on, again. Ezekiel 33, verse 1. I said, again, the word of the Lord came unto me, say, son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say to them, when I bring the sword upon the land, if the people of the land take a man of thy coast and set him for thy watchman, when he see the sword come upon the land, blow the trumpet and warn the peoples. Right? Blow the trumpet and warn the people. Verse 5, he hear the sound of the trumpet and take not warning, his blood should be upon him. But he that take warning should deliver his soul. Right? He that take warning should deliver his soul. Ezekiel 33, verse 30. No, I want that. Move on. Yeah. What else? That should be on that. Yeah. So let's go to Habakkuk chapter this. 2 verse 1. Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 1. So you see the times that be coming in, the karma, and you got these false prophets out here not warning people, tell them the times they be coming in. So you love just world over cash and money, and you're gonna be, man. Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 2. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables that he may run that read it, right? Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 2. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables that he may run that read it. The vision is yet for an appointed time, but the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, would not tarry, right? It will surely come. It will not tarry. What else I had on that? Romans 13 verse 11. Romans 13 verse 11. And that known that time now is high time to wake out of sleep. For now is our salvation near that we believe. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore count the work of darkness. Let us put on the armor of light, right? Let us put on the armor of light. Verse 13, let us walk honestly in the day, not rioting or drinking, not in chamber, not in wanted, not in strife, and envy, but put you on the Lord. How shall not to make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof, right? Read it again. Romans 13 verse 14, but put you on the Lord. How shall not to make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof, right? Fulfill the lust. What else? Ephesians chapter 5 verse 14. Go to verse 15. Seeing that you walk circumspect, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil, right? The days are evil. What else? I had in my head, I forget. Because the days are evil. Right. What else I had? First Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 1. But of the time and season, brother, I have no need that I write unto you. For yourself know perfect the day of the Lord, so come as a thief in the night, right? Thief in the night. Verse 3, for they shall say peace and safety, then suddenly destruction come upon them, twirl upon a woman with child, and they should not escape. But you, brother, you are not in darkness, that they should overtake you as a thief. You are the children of the light and of the children of the day. We are not the night, nor of darkness, right? Nor of darkness. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober, right? Let us watch and be sober. 1 Peter 4 verse 7. This should be it. Let's see. Right, let us watch and be sober. Let's go to 1 John. Chapter 2, verse 15. It said, do not love the world. It said, love not the world. None of these are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him, right? The love of the Father is not in him. For they are in the world, the lust of the flesh and of the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not the Father, but is of the world. If the world pass away and the lust thereof, but he that do the will of the Most High abide forever, right? Do the will of the Most High abide forever. It say, do not love the world. Move on. What's the other scripture? Right, it say, do not. Was that Matthew 6? Matthew 6 verse 29. Yeah, okay, yeah. Matthew 6 verse 24. No man can serve two masters, no else he would hate the one and love the other, or else he would hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon, right? You cannot serve God and mammon. Right, you cannot serve God and mammon. Matthew chapter 6 verse 24, it said, no man can serve two masters, for else he would hate the one and love the other, or else he would hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon, right? You cannot serve God and mammon. As I read that scripture, oh my goodness, all right. Let's go to Revelation. Chapter 13, verse 14. It says, he deceived them that dwell on the earth by the means of his miracle, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. Say, them that dwell on the earth, they shall make an image of the beast, which had room by the sword, did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast shall both speak and cause that was made, that has many as would not worship the image of the beast, shall be killed, right? Shall be killed. And he called all both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive the mark in their right hand or in their forehead. And that no man may buy or sell, say that he hath a mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. He is wisdom, let him that have understanding count the number of the beast. For it is that number of a man, and his number is 603 scars and 6, right? That should be it on that one. Let's go back with that second. Hold on, let me go back. Revelation 13, verse 18. It said, what did it say? It said, Revelation 13, verse 18. It said, here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast. For it is the number of a man, and his number is 603 scholars and 6. Right here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding. Right, let him have understanding. All right. What else? I think that should be it. Right, let him have understanding. Go back a part of a little bit of
communities become digital concentration camps. So if you've enjoyed liberty, it's very
You're not doing something bad. Why are so few financial journalists pointing out that actually if cash goes away, so does any power you might have had over your own life?
Well, I find a lot more journalists are beginning to understand and are beginning to not only write about this and talk about this, but do documentaries. We just had a new documentary done here out of the Netherlands called State of Control, which does a great job of explaining the invasive nature of this control grid. I think it's very hard for people who've grown up and enjoyed Western liberty and human liberty to imagine literally that we're going into a system where literally our homes, our cars, our communities become digital concentration camps. So if you've enjoyed liberty, it's very hard to, perceive this iceberg before you hit it. And that's why it's so important, and I commend you for talking about CBDCs, because we need to not let the propaganda persuade us that, one, this is convenient, or two, that we need this, or three, we need to understand not only the dangers of CBDCs, but the opportunities if we start to reverse financial tyranny. We've seen the financial system engineered using the federal credit to increase inequality and centralize political and economic control, and it's shrinking our wealth and it's shrinking our economy. We have debt growing and central control growing much faster than the GDP. That can be reversed. So the opportunity of rejecting financial tyranny and financial transaction control is so important. And all over the United States, there are great state legislatures working on legislation and passing legislation to protect our right to use cash, increasingly talking about state bullion depositories, state sovereign banks. There are many people doing this, and if you look at what they're doing, when it succeeds, it can really reinvigorate our economy. And so don't forget the opportunity of rejecting this.
Right. I think when people understand it, that's the first step.
So you see. All right, let's go to, you already got it already. First Peter 4, verse 7. All right, it say, let's go to the first. But the end of all things is at hand. Be you therefore sober and watch unto prayer, right? Watch unto prayer. We close that right there, so we're going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Shema Shah, double honor to the apostle, brother, the elder, great millstone.